Order in this homosexual court. It's the Honorable Judge Jacob Schubach.
And the Honorable Judge Ryan Gabbett, the disputes are real, the decisions are final, and the judges are homosexuals. This is gay court.
Wow.
Pew, 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 pew. Hello, 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 and welcome back to Gay Court, the comedy podcast where we debate all things LGBTQ plus.
Gay rights.
Gay rights.
Gay rights!
Okay, so this week we're going to be talking about our shared birthday. Yes, if you are a January 26er like us, you would know that we have the same exact birthday. And if you've been following along with us on Instagram, you recently saw that we both had our birthdays at medieval times. Mine was at the Anaheim location. Ryan was
That's also not Anaheim.
It is to me. And
It is
Ryan's
Buena Park,
it was in Buena Park, and Ryan's was somewhere in Jersey.
Lyndhurst, New Jersey.
Lyndhurst, New Jersey, the hottest place to have a birthday party. And then at the end of the show, I'm going to be bringing forward the very recent case of Nicki Minaj versus Megan Thee Stallion during Let the Record Show.
Pew, pew, pew. Before we begin this cross-examination of our birthdays, um, we want to invite all y'all to be part of the debate, since we want all you guys to do your civic booty show hole. And be part of the queer courtroom. Send us your emails at gaycourtpodcast@gmail.com. Send us your queer conundrums, embarrassing dating stories, gay crimes, hole, question mark, anything you like.
You've asked for it twice, so it seems like it's what you would like them to send.
Anything you'd like, because you know what? Fuck it.
Fair. And if you don't know what to write because you didn't like any of Ryan's suggestions, the two suggestions that were the same thing, be sure to follow us on social at Gaycore Podcast, where we're going to be posting prompts, memes, our birthday photos, anything we really want.
They can show a poll too.
Yeah, obviously. We accept all
forms of
media. We love media. We should do a segment where we like rate people's grinders picks.
Okay.
Send us your grinder albums and we'll rate them for you.
Side note, I was on the grinder today and a 6'6" doctor messaged me and I'm like, how are you both 6'6" and a doctor?
Like 6'6" in heels or like 6'6"?
Like 6'6" flat.
Just flat.
It's like flat earth. 6'6".
Like what kind
What's
of
the
doctor?
air up there like?
What kind of doctor?
I don't know. Does it matter? He's 6'6".
Yes, it does matter. Maybe he's one of those doctors who like extends your legs so you can be taller. And that's why he's 6'6".
Wow. Wow.
Could be a possibility.
Didn't think of that. Didn't think of that. Didn't think of that. Didn't think of that.
Here we are. Here we be.
Okay, ready?
Yes. So what's been popping since we last chatted on the podcast? There's been a lot of new music announcements. Who are you excited for?
And
I want to add this little disclaimer. I'm gonna say it right now. Disclaimer. This was filmed prior to Beyonce releasing her album, as well as Normani, and I'm very excited for both. None of them. Just kidding.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I kid. I guess Ariana and Casey.
Hell yeah, we love Miss Musgraves. I was just listening to her new single. Deeper Well. Deeper Well.
I look, you still need to listen to that.
Are you a Yeehaw Casey Musgraves gay?
I do love a good yeehaw moment. I passed out on my couch at 7 p.m. last night, so there's that.
Well, it came out at 8 a.m. yesterday, so.
Well, I was also busy with work.
You like, didn't notice it, period. She just released the like album covers for like the different, what do you call them, vinyls, and one of them has these like two cardinals on it that look like they're like kissing and whatever, and I want it so bad. I don't even have a record player, but I want it so bad. I already have a Casey Musgraves vinyl and I still do not have a fucking record player. But
why don't you have a record player? Why don't you have a record player? You should get one.
I keep looking at them and then like they're like giving me like specs and shit, and I don't know what they mean, and it confuses me, and then I just
why don't you just buy one then?
That's so true. That is so true. I should just make a decision, but I'm shy.
Therapy.
I'm shy. I'm also very excited about Taylor Swift's album. I'm looking forward to crying.
Mm-hmm. Was it the Lonely Poet Society or Deadly
I
or
could not tell you what it's called. It's the Lonely Poet Sad Bitches Department.
oh, is it the Lone Bitches Department?
It's
The Lone
TT.
the Lone Star State.
Yes, it's the Lone Star State by Taylor Swift. We will be
Lone
listening. Um,
Lonely or no. Uh Taylor.
the
I want to know what it
the
is.
Tortured Poets Department is what
Oh,
it's
it's
called.
literally there's not even lonely in it.
Yeah. The Loneliest Time by Carly Rae Jepsen, though, is also a great album. Anyways,
Mhm.
we've got lots of music to review once it eventually comes out. So looking
Yes.
forward to that.
And yes, and
Yes,
yes, and
and yes, and yes, and that takes us to our next segment, Gaze on the Case.
Boop, 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 boop. Gaze on the case. Sorry, I don't know why I said like that. Gaze on the case. Gaze,
To what end?
gaze on the case, where we cross-examine the same theme or topic. This week we're discussing medieval times. Because
Amazing.
why? It was our fucking birthday.
Yes, and we obviously have to recognize our birthday because we were born on the same day. So
But you're older.
I'm older by several hours.
And you look it.
I'm wiser, smarter, more mature.
Sure. Sure.
The Aquariuses are out today.
Aquariuses. Our Aquariuses are
Aquariuses. All right, Ryan. So tell me more about your medieval times birthday.
I have a photo.
Photographic evidence.
Ta-da!
Wow, she got the print. Okay, that's like a kind of like nice, like gold. What do you call
Jackie
that?
got it for me.
Embellishment.
Jackie got
Thank you,
it for me.
Jackie.
Ta-da!
Wow. Okay. So as you
Can you
can
guess the
see,
theme? Can you guess the theme of why I'm dressed like a little Bavarian man with a long nose?
I'm gonna guess that the theme is Shrek.
The theme was Shrek.
We love Shrek.
So I hosted a Shrek themed pregame with 100 Jello shots.
100? Oh my God. And you guys had like the syringes too.
Yeah. So
Okay, okay.
there was 80-ish tequila ones, which were green, and
Mhm.
then we did 20 blue raspberry vodka ones. But there is still a little extra because we only did half. So we like put it in random things just to like have more. So it's maybe like just say maybe like 120-ish shots were
Okay.
made. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Shared over 20 people or 19 people.
Okay, that's like six per person. Like that's not bad. I feel like
Uh
Our Jello shots were just in like the little like Dixie cups,
yeah.
very small, like as you would do. Ours were blue raspberry and green as well. And
Okay, so
by green I mean lime.
so when I saw that, I literally was like, the fact that we chose the same colors too made me laugh because we didn't speak about this at all.
I did not pick the colors. Maddie picked those colors. My friend Maddie made those. She was like looking for recipes. She did it on her own. And so by
Wild,
whatever,
wild.
but also like those are the best flavors outside of like strawberry. We do love a strawberry jello shot.
Mm-mm.
But we did not have anywhere near as many as you did because like our pregame was like 6 or 7 of us before we met the rest of the party at medieval times. So I think there was like 25 jello shots total.
So you know how like small-ish my apartment is? Like it's not
Yeah,
tiny. It's not like a studio, but like
no,
imagine like 20 people in the living room though.
it is a lot of people to
It was
fit in one spot.
fucking wild. I was having an anxiety attack for a little bit because I was just like, there's so many people in
They're
this.
gonna call the super, please. No.
Not even that. It was just more like, oh my God, there's just so many people. Like I feel like so like claustrophobic in my own
Yeah,
apartment.
like I'm
But
sweating.
but it was fine. But we did that, and then what else did we do? Uh Ural made me a cake. I think it was AJ's idea. But he made me a cake that said fag, and it was
Oh,
Shrek themed. You saw the cake?
yes. Sarah made me a cake. Well, she got the cake from Ralph's, but the Ralph's didn't do a good enough job, so she added her own elements of like a dragon and like clouds onto the cake, and it also looked fantastic. Yes, I do recall the cake. I've seen the cake posted in many carousels on your Instagram.
Two carousels. And then we filmed a who do you think is gonna get the drunkest? Can we put that video in here?
Hey, I'm Dragon, and I think Pinocchio is gonna get the most drunk.
Hello, I am Pinocchio. I'm the birthday boy. I think
that Gingy will be the drunkest, or Lord Farquaad, or me. But Gingy. I'm voting Gingy.
There was also like 10 boxes of alcohol, like seltzers.
Mm.
And this is gonna go into the next part where the way we got from New York City to medieval times was I rented a party bus.
Love that.
So we were in a party bus, dancing the night away, and all 9 boxes of alcohol were finished by the time we got to medieval times, and the car ride was only like 25 minutes.
Wait,
All 9 boxes were gone.
where did they go?
Like
Y'all
so
are brave.
I would say maybe we finished like 2 boxes when we were in the apartment, like together, because we opened all the boxes and we're just people just grabbing stuff.
Yeah.
But we finished like the rest of them on the freaking party bus on the way there, not even on the way back, on the way there.
Oh, so you showed up to medieval times.
Oh, I showed up
And
medieval
you
times.
thought you were
Like
you thought you were in literally medieval times.
I was like in my own little world. So medieval times, I don't remember at all.
Wow. Okay. Well, I can fill in the gaps for you because I do remember medieval times.
But we were also Team Green.
Okay. What are also the chances of that?
I don't know. It was wild because we all looked at it, the story, your stories the next day. We're like, oh my God, they were Team Green too? Oh my God, they had blue and green jello shots too? Why the hell are you guys the same person? Is what we were all thinking.
Here we are. Here we are.
Here we are. Here we are. B. Oh,
Maybe.
well. Um, the last thing I vividly remember, like at medieval times, was crying.
Because your team lost.
No, I cried at when it was before I even started because I was just so happy that all my friends were around me. It was happy tears. And then everyone was just like, oh my God, I've never seen him cry.
Period. Well, I'm glad that you were able to share that moment of vulnerability with people.
Mhm. And the second thing I remember was after the show. I don't remember any of the show. Apparently, I sort of passed out for part of the show as well. Maybe
You
that's
do love
also
to fall
why.
asleep places.
I apparently
Very
I was
you.
yeah, apparently I fell asleep and then they finally like revived me and I had to pee. And I vividly remember this. It was me and AJ needing to pee, and we were the only ones like fully in costume, like fully dressed up, aside from Joe. So then you just see him run down the stairs and you see me running afterwards. And I remember hearing someone go, is that Lord Farquaad? Is that Pinocchio? And you just see us running to the bathroom. And then that's the last thing I remember is because I fell down the stairs afterwards.
Did you like how many stairs? Did you bleed? What are the details of the
I
stairs?
don't know. I really don't know how many stairs it was, but I just remember my back hurt the next day.
Oh, but a diva rised. She rose
A
from
diva rose.
a diva rose.
A diva
rising.
rose.
Wow.
And yeah. And then the trip back and the after medieval times was another story. Do I continue the story now? Or do I
Yeah,
go?
let's get all the way home.
Party bus home. AJ passes out on the party bus. I remember being they're like, Ryan, just keep dancing. I remember being like, is he dead? Is he dead?
Is that man over there dead?
I don't know if I showed you this picture, but there's a picture of me like I'm like, it's okay, you're okay. Where is it? And it's so funny because I'm just like, it's fine, don't worry. He's like that little that's his like tunic and his feet and his head's like in a Target bag.
Oh, his head's in the Target bag. Ooh, suffocate him. Yeah.
You say suffocate him?
Well, if your head's in a plastic bag, that's what it says. It says warning of suffocation.
And then we get home, and that's when he died. Not like actually died. But
Yeah,
like
thank you for clarifying.
to the listeners,
This is now a true crime podcast.
to the listeners, it's just he didn't pass away. He was just very drunk. So then after he died, he was like asleep, and then me and a few people went out in Hell's Kitchen. AKA I went out to one place, and then I literally was like standing watching the drag queen, and I almost fell asleep standing up because I literally was so tired. So then I went to Cane's, got some Cane's, and I came back home.
Love games.
Came back home and I cleaned up the entire apartment. Like by the time AJ woke up the next morning, it was like so clean. He was like, "Who the hell cleaned?" I was like, "Me."
We do love a good drunk clean, especially when Carly Rae Jepsen is playing.
I it was there was no Carly Jepsen playing. It was just me cleaning in silence, eating canes as AJ was like sleeping on the couch.
And you were having the time of your life. It was your best birthday yet.
It was a great birthday. It was a lovely birthday. I enjoyed my birthday. How was your birthday? What did you do?
I also went to medieval times. We kind of already talked about the pregame, so I'll just cut right to the chase. We got there. I was dressed as like a king, just like a real cheap Amazon costume, because you know what? I couldn't rally the troops to do Shrek. It just seemed too complicated. Ryan was also like helping me, did the majority of the planning for me. Here we are. Here we be. But you know what?
Well, you decided to ruin your surprise party.
Yes, it was supposed to be a surprise party for me because I wasn't going to plan anything for myself. I was just going to let the moment pass. And Ryan was like, we ain't doing that shit. So he rallied all of my friends on Instagram and was going to surprise me. And then I don't even know how I ruined it, but I
You
did
ruined it
somehow
because
ruined it.
apparently you kept asking people like, "What are you doing on like the day?" And everyone was busy, and then you started getting suspicious.
I am an Aquarius. I'm very intuitive. I will notice when something is up. I cannot be surprised.
Did you know something was up?
Always.
Did you know that I was planning something?
I didn't know that it was you planning something. I thought that it was Kat was the one behind the mastermind behind the operation. I didn't think you were involved.
She was the main mastermind because she was like the person in California. I
True.
was the one that like planted the seed and then helped out by contacting people and was just like, "Can you do this when I'm not here? Because I'm
Can you
not
do
going to
this?
be there."
Period. A lot of people were upset that you weren't there. They were like, "Where's Ryan?" And I was like, "He's at Medieval Times." And they're like,
In
"Oh,
New
so we'll see him." And I
Jersey.
was like, "No, no, 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 no. Like, wrong, 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 wrong. We're going to see him never because he's not here." But one day when you come back to LA, we will rally all the girls together and we'll have a banger brunch. Anyways, in terms of
Mhm.
medieval times,
Rocco's.
Rocco's.
I want to get the giant espresso martini. I will find one of your friends who's going to drink it with me. Or I'll drink it myself.
Oh, Kat would do that in a heartbeat. Yeah. All right. Anyways, so medieval times.
Mhm.
I will preface this by saying I'd never been to medieval times,
Oh.
and I don't see any reason to ever go back to medieval times. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I had a great time at medieval times, but I don't feel the need to ever do it again, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
That's fair.
We got there, we were getting drinks. You can see all of the horses. Did yours have stables?
Girl, we were
He
nine
doesn't
boxes of
remember.
seltzers in.
He doesn't remember. Well, ours had stables and you could like see horses. It was like behind glass. Like you couldn't like touch the
Touch
horses
them.
or like bother them, which was nice. But like they're definitely used to like not be glass there. And I'm assuming that there is now glass there, A, to protect the horses, but B, I feel like a horse probably bit a kid at some point, which I think is
Mm.
kind of funny.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, yeah.
Okay.
In terms of the actual show, there was like a whole pomp and circumstance. They like bring out these riders. All of the riders like run around, and each section of the auditorium is given to 6 different teams. So we were both on the green team, but there was like the black and red team, the yellow team, and whatever. And all the teams were somehow competing against each other. This is where it gets a little fuzzy. I don't really understand like what the through line story was. I just like remember like they would keep coming out and like doing different tricks, and then they would like fight and joust each other. But I do not remember like the actual narrative storyline that was taking place. So that's beyond me. Did you guys have like the birthday call outs that they did?
Yes. Yes.
Was yours also
I
like 45 people?
It was. So everyone, I remember everyone was waiting for mine. And then like 29th birthday of Ryan, and we were like screamed. We used to see like 2 rows of Pinocchio of Shrek dressed characters just screaming. The row in front of like 2 rows in front of us, their dresses all like knights, and they were the only other ones in costume, and they're the only ones that turned around and were screaming as well.
It feels like, okay, I know that your team didn't win, but I feel like if you had two groups of people dressed up, they should have rigged it for your team to win.
Exactly,
Like,
because
come on.
we were like I would say we were the funnest people, also because we were also shit faced drunk.
As one does in New Jersey. Um, yeah, they did the birthdays, but they said Jacob instead of Jacob, and we were all like,
Oh.
Oh, okay, go. Um, but yeah, they like fought, they jousted, they lived, they laughed, they loved. And our team won. And like there was like a
Mhm.
certain level of like thrill that I've never experienced at any sporting event in my life than seeing our man brutally murder some other man. And by brutally murder, I mean, play act murder, because this is not a true crime podcast once again. All that said, I did request specific gift at my birthday party, which was framed
Ooh,
photos of me and each of my friends.
yes.
And they really showed out. And I like love having framed photos of all my friends. And I still need to get command strips to like hang them up. But I will be ordering them on Amazon today so that I can do that this weekend and really just complete this wall. You can see it behind me if you're watching. Behind me, it has one photo on it right now.
Is it that one?
It's the one right here.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could have more on there. It could have more. But yes, a lovely 29th birthday as well.
Yay. Do you want me to tell you what my idea is for your gift?
Do you want me to tell you my ideas for my 30th birthday?
I can tell you mine as well, but I was like, want me to tell you what the gift I have for you for your photo?
Yeah.
My idea was I want to get a giant frame, like huge, like 32 inches by 32 inches, and the photo itself is like an inch by an inch.
Wait, what?
I want like a giant frame, but like 32 inches by 32 inches, but the photo itself is only an inch by an inch. So it's literally in the middle, and it's in the middle of this giant frame.
I think you need to like also just like add like like how like at a museum they have like a little like title card.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like you
And
need to like make it like a piece of art.
the title card could say like faggots or January
Faggots by Ryan.
26ers.
Yeah.
January 26ers.
I love it. I love it.
Faggots, January 26ers, Aquarius C, Ryan Gabbett, comma 2024.
Period. I feel like that would be like a big statement piece. I have like a nice space right here. You can't
Mhm.
see it on camera, but it's like perfectly sized for 32 by 32.
Perfect.
Maybe it's a little smaller than that, but whatever. Maybe 24 by 24.
I need to find a thing anyway. So,
Whatever. TTT. All right.
so what's the idea for your 30th? I can tell you mine afterwards. Okay.
First is to hire a videographer and film a music video to like one of my favorite songs. And like everybody will
Alone?
have no, everyone will have like their own parts. Like that's the party. Is like the
Okay.
videographer will like pull you aside and be like, oh, like we're gonna go to this section of like the whatever, and like you're gonna do this, and you're gonna look really hot. And like you
Mhm.
just like keep bringing people into like the video, and at the end of the day, we have a music video. That's
Mhm,
kind of
mhm,
fun.
mhm, mhm.
Second idea, I'm like now not remembering. So skip
Okay.
that one. Third idea is the theme is Edna mode, and everybody wears a fuck ass bob.
A fuck us, Bob.
A fuck ass bob. Which I'm like, I kind of love that one.
I love that too.
Just like everybody in like a black fuck ass bob and saying Edna mode.
Edna mode
But like
and guest.
randomly, because it's like January 26th. Like that's not
No capes.
no kids. Literally, just like that's a good theme for a random birthday in January.
So a night of 1,000 Edna modes.
Night of 1,000 Edna modes.
Just like
Just like
frolicking around
hip
Hell's
topping
Kitchen, not
through
Hell's
West
Kitchen,
West
sorry.
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Yeah, those are my ideas so far.
I love that.
What are your ideas?
Oh, I want to do a trip somewhere either by myself or another idea I have was there's this Airbnb in Costa Rica that I want to go to. It's like a villa. It holds like 10 people. So if I find me and 9 friends, we could rent the villa for a week and then we could just
Ooh.
stay in Costa Rica because apparently walk to the beach. You can there's like a little theater with like a screen so you can do like presentations. You can have a presentation night.
Ooh, okay, a theme every night.
Yeah, and then there's like a fire pit, there's a swimming pool. It's this little casita, and I'm just like, I want to do that.
That's lovely. I think that's beautiful.
That or do something with Real Housewives. I'm not sure what exactly, but a fun Real Housewives moment would also be funny.
Period. Period. Flip a table. Flip a table night. And that concludes our 29th birthday. We will see you next year for number 30.
If we're still friends.
No, I think even if we're enemies, like we should still come back for it.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, like a reunion. Like if you want to do Real Housewives, like let's do Real Housewives. Like, I want to be swinging on you.
So we'll both have first seats, but who's Andy Cohen?
Who's Andy Cohen?
We
Obviously
need a
AJ.
moderator.
Obviously AJ.
AJ's gonna be the
Obvious.
moderator.
Yeah. He's he's a partial judge. He obviously is in your favor because I've never met him in real life. But I do feel like I could win even still.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then that takes us to our next segment, Let the Record Show.
Are you the bitch she's singing about?
Don't know. Don't know what she's saying. I didn't know she sang. I thought she rapped or whatever.
Let the Record Show, where we discuss iconic pop culture history moments, determine if they belong in the gay court history books. What are you presenting today?
So today I'm going to be presenting Nicki Minaj versus Megan Thee Stallion, the one-sided argument heard around the world. Now, Ryan, what do you know about this case so far?
Megan.
Megan, my queen. If anybody watches Love After Lockup, they'll know Megan, my queen. Not Megan Thee Stallion, different Megan, but Megan nonetheless. So all you know is Megan. Great. So we have a lot to hop into then. So let's get
Well, I mean, like, why would I tell what I know if you're gonna tell me what you're gonna say?
Well, I just wanted to, set the stage, get your initial thoughts, comments.
I said, Team Megan.
Team Megan, period. All right, so this coincidentally actually ties into our birthday because the beef started because of a song released on January 26th. So Megan released the song Hiss, which is one of her latest singles. I don't know if it's on any albums yet, but I believe it's just a single as of now. It's got really great cover art. She's got like a snake wrapped around her on the cover. It's awesome. So in the song, she talks about various aspects of her life, things that she's gone through. And, as a rapper does, they just draw from their own life as inspiration. But there was one line that Nicki apparently took an issue with. And the line reads, "These hoes don't be mad at Megan. These hoes mad at Megan's law." I don't really know what the problem is, but I guarantee y'all don't want me to start. Ooh. So I, as a listener, I would not have thought that was about Nicki Minaj. Don't know what Megan's Law even is until I read the articles because Nicki Minaj caused a bit of a stir about this. But according to Variety, Megan's Law is a federal law requiring law enforcement to make information available about registered sex offenders. Did you know that, Ryan?
Nor,
because here we are, here we be.
here we be.
And of course, the Barbs and the Hotties are like very passionate fan bases. So they were dissecting every part of this track and tying it to different things. And the assumption is that this is a swipe at Nicki's husband, Kenneth Perry, who is, in fact, a registered sex offender for an incident back in April of 1995. And also, I didn't know this one, but he was apparently also convicted of manslaughter in the first degree for killing a man in 2002.
So the other definition of slay, he's slaying someone.
Yes. This one, out of all of the ones we've talked about, was an actual murder, I guess. Not slay.
Murder?
Not great. We don't love people being murdered. So anyways, Nicki has been with this man for years and has defended this man for years, despite the things he's been convicted of in the past. For example, in 2019, after Wendy Williams was calling out Nicki's husband for these things, Nicki Minaj took to Queen Radio. Minaj. Like I'm a fucking reporter. Minaj took to Queen Radio, which is like her podcast radio show, and said, "Every time you mention him, you feel the need to bring these things up. I didn't know that in our society, you have to be plagued by your past. I didn't know that people can't turn over a new leaf." Which, sure, I guess someone can turn over a new leaf.
Insert Candy Muse meme of her trying to figure out what turning a new leaf means. I'll send it to you.
What's turning a new leaf?
Have you never heard that? It's like a brand new day. I've shed like a layer and I've become something better than I was before.
Oh. Because like if you have a leaf and you turn, it's the same leaf.
Perfect. So after this Megan's Law lyric came out on Megan's song Hiss, Nicki just like went in on Instagram Live, on Twitter, on any platform that she could to talk about this. And so on her Instagram Live, for example, she was like mostly off screen. Like, I don't know if you've seen any clips from it, but like it's literally just like the background of her house.
Yeah.
And like at one point you can see someone open the refrigerator and like grab a snack while she's just like muttering about Megan the Stallion and like
Hmm.
saying weird things. And I'm like, that's wild that she's just on Instagram Live doing whatever. But a lot of the Instagram Live was her like making references to, Megan the Stallion getting shot by Tory Lanez. And like, for reference, Tory Lanez is currently serving a 10-year prison sentence for shooting Megan the Stallion. If you didn't know, now you do. But a lot of people are like, why is Nicki going after her for something so traumatic as that? That a lot of people started to take Megan's side. So
Hmm.
Megan was very much the opposite of Nicki. She took a page from Miss Beyonce Knowles' PR playbook where she just doesn't say anything and you let the story ride out. And even in saying nothing, she was literally just like posting like hot pictures of herself from the set of his. And I was like, you know what? That's the way to do it. Just completely ignore the situation and just vibe. No beef between her and Nicki exists. She's just living her life.
Exactly.
Is that how you would have responded?
I don't know. Maybe
If someone came for me on the internet, I would definitely just like block them. I'd be like,
that's also
okay.
fair. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a person who's gonna like retaliate.
I don't feel like you're a retaliator.
I'm an instigator.
An instigatortrice. So in the days following Hiss coming out on the 26th, Nicki started to tease a diss track called Bigfoot, which she released like an AI generated cover image, which she keeps using AI generated images. And I'm like, hire a graphic designer, please. Just hire someone who can do something nice. And she was like, Bigfoot comes out January 29th or whatever the date was. And Pop Bass, one of the gossip Twitter accounts, quote retweeted it and was like, Nicki's new diss track is coming. And Nicki said, who said it was a diss track? You should fix your tweet. And Pop Bass literally retweeted, was like, okay, well, what do you want it to be called then? And like Nicki's like thing where she was like calling out Pop Bass got like 20,000 likes, and Pop Bass's tweet had like hundreds of thousands of likes. And I do love when an editorial publication gets a little messy. And so I do
Hmm.
really appreciate that out of anything that happened in the storyline, that Pop Bass got into it and was fighting with Nicki.
Do you think it's actually Nicki?
Tweeting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else would it
Okay.
be?
I don't know. Her
Her...
social media person.
Can you imagine like Nicki just has no idea this is going on and her social media person just like, whatever, like let me tweet some stuff. Ah! That is a lot of power that a social media manager would have, which is why I believe most celebrities actually hit the post button themselves.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, on January 29th, Nicki released Bigfoot, which is apparently a reference to the shooting incident with Tory Lanez where he shot at Megan's feet. And on the song, Nicki tweets. Nicki raps things like "bad bitch, she's like 6 foot. I call her Bigfoot. The bitch fell off. Said get up on your good foot." And then eventually the song culminates into a minute-long spoken word segment.
The podcast.
The podcast where Nicki says that she's very serious and says that she has more to add to this debacle, we'll call it. I personally, when I listened to Bigfoot, I like listened to it when it dropped at like, I think it dropped at like midnight. I was like, okay, like let's see what's happening. This has been like on my feed for days of Nicki just going off on Megan. I need to see what this diss track is all about. I did not get to the end of the song, so I didn't hear the podcast until I like woke up the next morning. I was like, why are people talking about Nicki's podcast? And I like had to go back and like re-listen to it.
Didn't you call me, FaceTime me? I was like, did you listen to the podcast at the end? You're like, what podcast? I was like,
Literally,
she
I was
literally
like...
speaks for like 5 minutes. Just there's no music. She just like whispers, speaks like a podcast at the end.
I did not get to that part, but I did eventually go back and listen to it, and it was like not like had I gotten to that, I would have skipped it then. I would have been like, nope, not any. I don't need to hear any of this.
I heard like 3 seconds. I was like, why is there a podcast? And I ended it.
Fair. So with that being out in the world, apparently Nicki says that a second installment is coming. We have not seen anything. It's been like a week and a half since this all went down. But as for what Megan has said, Megan has continued to remain silent on this conversation. I also just saw that she posted she has a deal with Nike. So she's like truly like in her bag. And like I would say from what I've seen, the vast majority of like the internet, conversation seems to be on the side of Megan,
Hmm.
which is good for her.
There was like a
Unfortunate for
tweet
Nicki.
that was like she got the it was like the tweet was like she got the Bayhive, the Swifties
Yeah.
all on her back. But the moment she had it in the bag was when the K-pop stands joined in as well or something like that.
The K-pop stands are always truly like a defining force in like internet debate. They have power, they have numbers, they are organized, they know what they're doing. And yeah, I think it'll die down over time, but I don't know. That's the latest and greatest tea. So Ryan, after hearing all of the facts and debate information that I put forward, are you still Team Megan?
Yeah.
Period. Same. We love Nicki's music, but we do not love the actions that she's taken, unfortunately.
Big boobs.
Big boobs.
She gave us great memes and some great songs, all the songs of which she doesn't want to sing anymore.
Fair, fair. That is also fair. So does this belong in the gay court history books?
Yeah. Can I add something from our last Let the Record Show?
Of course.
Did you see how Sedative got acquitted or something?
Oh my God, yes. I saw they're not pursuing legal action anymore
Mm-mm.
against this legal
They said
debacle.
it was a private place that he only had a key to, technically, or he had a key to, so it's not technically a public place. So they couldn't legally do something
Okay, I
or
cannot wait to
whatever.
go on his LinkedIn and see what he's up to.
But they're like, oh, he still has no more career in law, not law,
Politics.
legal politics.
Legal. Okay, that's the tea. That's the tea. Well, then that brings us to the saddest part of the show, the closing statements, where we give our final thoughts, comments, concerns, and opinions on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
what are your final thoughts or what are your closing statements?
January 26th, 2024 brought us medieval times, hiss, and a rivalry that no one expected between you and me. Just kidding. No. But it will go down as in infamy as a day to remember.
Period. Period. January 26th is that day. My closing statements are that if you are going to have rap beef in the year of our Lord and Savior 2024, let's take it out at the joust event at medieval times.
Sorry.
Just imagining Nicki and Megan on.
No, that's literally what I
jousting.
imagined.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be kind of wild. Nicki comes out in like a pink horse. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, she's Megan the Stallion, so she's got to have a stallion. Okay. I'm like visualizing too much now. All right. So that was the episode. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to find us on social at Gay Court Podcast. My handle is I got Shubak, IGOTSCHUPBACH. And Ryan's is What's Up? It's Ryan, WAZUPITSRYAN. And remember, if you hear this and you do not follow us, that makes you
homophobic.
Period.
And like we said at the top of the podcast, get in contact with us with anything, hole and pull. Or just, email us because, we're lonely. So email us at gaycourtpodcast@gmail.com. Also, give us 5 stars on all podcast platforms because why? We love attention and we love being validated. So give us 5 stars because anything less than 5 stars is what?
Homophobic.
Yeah. See you next time, you January 26ers.
Bye.
Bye.
Gay Court is a Perfectly Done Toast podcast production.